Picking up where we left off in video number 86, I was attempting to make good on the promises of so many internet posts showing simple and easy ways to upgrade your old iPod Classic to modern standards, specifically increasing the battery life, the storage capacity, and overall longevity by removing the old spinning hard disk and replacing it with solid-state media. Having read a number of posts on the subject years ago when it first showed up, and having a few older CF cards on hand, I decided to try the cheapest method available to me first, which was to use a CF card I already owned and order a cheap generic CF to ZIF, that's Zero Insertion Force adapter, on Amazon. These boards here are readily available for under $15, but they are equally undocumented and unsupported as they are cheap. That method clearly failed. The adapter wouldn't work at all, and it was pretty much a complete waste of time. I did successfully replace the broken screen and the old battery with new parts, and had marginal luck restoring the case. After more consideration and research into how polishes work on plastics, and seeing that some of the mounting points on the old front case had been damaged, and the scratches on the screen window were pretty much beyond what I could expect polish to fix, I decided to just go ahead and replace the whole front panel. Due to the current availability of parts, I went ahead and ordered a black front plate, which I think will look pretty good with the white center button and wheel. It'll certainly be different. This time for the adapter, I went to the experts, to the best source of information on the subject of iPod upgrades that I could find online, and the source of unique hardware to help specifically accomplish this task, and that's iFlash.xyz, and that's where I should have ordered from in the first place. They're well supported and documented, and the obvious choice really if you care about your iPod or your time, but that's what this channel here is for, experimenting so you don't have to waste your time and money on cheap crap in the future. Now, iFlash caters to those who really want to go nuts and kit out their iPod to just like epic specs. The quad SD card adapter is really impressive, but I honestly don't even have enough music in my current iTunes library to even come close to needing more storage than a single SD card can currently offer. But if you're a big user of the video side of the iPod, or you have some specific use case, that kind of storage might be right for you. Now, iFlash is a UK-based outfit, but they ship all over the place. I chose the cheapest standard postage option when ordering from them, and my parts arrived within about a week. I picked up the single SD card adapter and one of their universal flexible pry tools, since they're super handy and only cost a few dollars more. The adapter comes with a single sheet of instructions, and it's smart to follow the link they list for your specific application to be sure that you're assembling things at least in the correct orientation the first try. I consulted the website when I placed my order and used their list of approved SD cards to search Amazon for a good deal. I ended up going with this SanDisk Extreme 64GB micro SD card for only $20, and that came with the micro to standard SD card adapter obviously as well, and that's a pretty solid deal. I'm going to start by taking the iPod completely apart again. If you've never opened one, I go through this process in video number 86, and you can also visit iFixit.com. Their website has a step-by-step walkthrough, which I'll link below. I'm not affiliated with them or iFlash.xyz in any way at all. I just ordered this stuff off the internet, and I use iFixit for walkthroughs all the time. They're very handy. Once again, we want to remove the battery, the hard drive, and undo those flat flex connectors. I'm going to go ahead and swap out the faceplate for the new one now, and that's a matter of simply removing the protective cover on the inside of the window and carefully snapping it down onto the chassis, securing it with however many of the tiny screws you managed not to lose when you took it apart. And I think that actually looks pretty nice with the white wheel and center button. I like it. Installing the adapter is as simple as putting the SD card into the iFlash adapter, and be sure to insert it until it clicks into place. Next, make sure the ZIF connector is in the open position by flipping up the tab. Insert the flat flex cable into the ZIF connector until it's inserted evenly across all pins, and then lock it in place. Once that's done, you can start putting the iPod back together. You won't need any of the blue rubber bumpers or spacers, so go ahead and set those aside. Grab the included foam that came from iFlash and stick it to the top of the SD card holder, and this will keep the new board from shaking around once it's all reassembled. With everything reconnected, I'd recommend doing the next step before you actually reassemble the iPod. But either way, when you turn the unit back on, if everything went correctly, you should be prompted to connect to iTunes in order to restore your device. It's worth noting that I took the SD card directly from the retail packaging and put it into the adapter and into the iPod. I did not do any formatting or partitioning or connecting it to my computer whatsoever before putting it into the iPod. Now this process takes a couple of minutes, and once it's finished, your iPod is ready to go. You'll have the most up-to-date firmware with all of the familiar menus and extras. You can load up your device at this point the traditional way using iTunes, or go even further with the modifications and install something like Rockbox. So all told, here's a breakdown of what I spent on the final upgrade. For the replacement screen, I paid $27. The metal polish for the rear case was about $10. The new battery was only $7. The new front panel was only $13. That 64GB micro SD card was $20. And the iFlash order came to $35.50, and that included international postage and the new spudger. So all in all, that's $112.50. So whether or not that seems like a reasonable number is going to depend greatly on your perspective. Honestly, I didn't need to fix this iPod, but rescuing it from dying in the bottom of a drawer was enough of a reason for me to give it a try. If you've already spent the $400 to $600 on one of these years ago originally, then putting another $100 into it now to extend its life for the foreseeable future, it might be money well spent to you. You know, sometimes life is just about more than the most cost-effective way to do things. This is the kind of project that you will either think that $100 is nothing to spend to get the enjoyment back out of using your old iPod again, or you'll think this is absolutely crazy and these things are old and outdated and we should just let them go. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Should you spend the money and make something like this useful again, or just skip the work and save your money and let the past go? That's it for this time. All of the links, info, and resources for this project will be linked on the website at DcSoundOp.com, and thanks to everyone, honestly, who supports these videos on Patreon. If you'd like to help make more of these videos and get your name in the credits, you'll find a link below for that too. I'll see you next time.